Hi, welcome to Subtrak. Subtrak is a platform that helps construction teams document, organize, and share their standard operating procedures. We make it simple to document how work should be done in a way that your team can follow both in the office and out in the field. Instead of relying on verbal instructions or tribal knowledge, Subtrak gives you a way to build a digital playbook your entire team can follow. In this video, I'd like to show you how to create your first process, edit an SOP to make it your own, and invite your team so they can help you start building out your playbook right away. Let's get started. Okay, so once you're logged into Subtrak, the first place we're going to go is the processes section to create a new process. Just click on the new process button in the upper right-hand corner. This opens a window where you can either browse our template library or start building a process from scratch. For this video, I'm going to start with a template because it lets us get content in place very quickly. And also many contractors find the templates helpful because you're not starting with a blank page. So here you can browse Subtrak's process template library. Templates are organized by trade and department, and you can also search if you're looking for something specific. For this example, I'm looking for an estimating process for a home builder, so I'll make those selections. When you find one you like, click Add to Process, and Subtrak will bring it into your playbook, ready to edit and save. Now we're in the process editor, and here you can customize the process for your company. You can edit the process name and description, and you can also add tags. Now you can tag processes to things like responsible role, project type, department. This helps keep your playbook organized and makes it easier to find information later. For this example, I'll tag this as being the overall responsibility of the estimator. The project type will be residential new construction, and we'll tag it to the estimating department. I should also mention that all of these tagging options were initially set up when you created your Subtrak account. If you ever need to add or edit them, you can do that in admin settings section if you have admin privileges. So in Subtrak, documentation is organized into two layers: processes and SOPs. An SOP is an explanation of how to complete a single task, whereas a process is a collection of SOPs that work together to achieve a larger goal. So in this example, for our estimate review checklist, each of these SOPs represents a single task that someone on the team needs to complete as part of the overall process of reviewing an estimate. Inside each SOP, you can add detailed instructions explaining exactly how the task should be done. You can include things like a task overview, step-by-step instructions, attachments, images, videos, links. The goal is to create a clear set of instructions and resources so that even someone who has never completed the task before can follow along and complete it confidently. You can also assign each SOP to a responsible role so your team knows who is responsible for completing each task. If you'd like to add a new SOP to the process, simply click in the Add SOP area at the bottom. You can search for existing SOPs or create a new one here. When creating a new SOP, you have two options. You can build it manually, or you can use AI to generate the first draft for you. Now, this is a great way to quickly create a detailed starting point that you can then edit and customize. You can type your prompt or use speech to text to describe the SOP you want to create. So let me show you how that works. For example, I might say something like, create a detailed standard operating procedure for how our estimator should verify material pricing before submitting a final estimate. The SOP should include steps for confirming that supplier quotes are valid for the expected duration of the project, checking for potential material price escalations, confirming transportation or other delivery fees, and making sure there are no additional hidden costs. The estimator should also confirm in writing that the supplier will honor the quoted price through the anticipated end date of the project, either on the quote itself or through written email confirmation. Once you submit the prompt, Subtrak will generate a draft SOP based on your input. Now, the more specific your prompt is, the better the result will be. From there, you can edit the content, add attachments, include images and videos, and customize the instructions however you'd like. When you're finished editing the process, simply scroll to the bottom and click Save Process, and your process will be added to your playbook. You'll also notice that any SOPs created within the process are automatically saved into the SOPs section of Subtrak, where they can also be searched and filtered by tags. You can also create standalone SOPs in the SOP section for tasks that aren't part of a larger process, such as something like how to order office supplies. Once your documentation is created, it's very easy to share it with your team. Simply click Share on any process or SOP, and a window will appear where you can either copy a link or generate a QR code. These links can be shared with anyone on your team or even customers, suppliers, subcontractors, things like that, so that they can quickly access the correct information. By default, shared links are public, which means that anyone with the link can view the content you shared, but they will only see the specific process or SOP that you shared, not the rest of your Subtrak account. This makes it easy to share documentation with people both in the office and out in the field. Subtrak also includes an organization section where you can store company-wide information like policies and job descriptions. Policies are useful for things like employee handbooks, safety guidelines, PTO policies, or any other information you want your entire team to be able to reference. Job descriptions are automatically created based on the roles you defined in your company settings, and you can add additional details about responsibilities and expectations for each role here. Just like SOPs and processes, these items can also be shared with your team through links or QR codes. Once you started building your playbook, the next step is inviting your team. To do that, simply go to the Team section in the main navigation. Here you can invite team members by entering their name and email address and selecting their access level. Subtrak has 3 access levels. Administrators can manage company settings and invite new team members. Editors can create and edit processes and SOPs, and viewers can log in and view documentation but cannot make edits. Inviting your team allows them to contribute to documentation and start using your playbook right away, so I highly recommend it. One quick tip before you get started: don't feel like you need to document everything all at once. Many contractors begin by outlining just a few core processes, such as their sales process, their estimating process, their project startup process. From there, you can gradually add more detail to every SOP over time. Your playbook doesn't need to be perfect on day one. It's meant to be a living system of documentation that grows and improves as your company evolves. Now, finally, if you'd like some help getting set up or have any questions about how to structure your playbook, you can schedule an onboarding session with me directly from the Getting Started section of Subtrak. During our onboarding session, we can walk through your specific use case, help you document your first processes, and make sure everything is set up in a way that works for you and your team. So that's about everything you need to know about getting started with Subtrak. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned a little bit about how easy it is to start building your playbook with your team.